Hi guys, welcome back to Smart Marriage. Today we're going to be talking about communication and we're going to be talking about self-awareness. This will tie back together with conflict resolution, how we miscommunicate, how the lack of communication causes bottled up emotions, and how do you notice what you say to each other in relationship that might affect the way the other receives the information, and how you actually reanalyze how and what you've said to another person, to look deep into what sparks the triggers in yourself, to name call your partner, to blame instead of actually trying to understand, and how to deal with emotions, and how to actually separate the emotions of anger with a healthy communication. Stay tuned. Come back.
Hey.
Yeah, as in the start of this video, we talked about communication. So, communication is very important, and in the first phase of relationships, it's the most misunderstood thing. We don't want we don't want to be seen too needy, and sometimes we're not mature enough how to handle disagreements. And so what happens is that the other person might end up choosing to be quiet, and by so doing ending up bottling up emotions, or not coming up, or trying not to come up to a person as aggressive or needy, because most of us, we come from different backgrounds, shape our events in the past, where we're not allowed to express our emotions, and no, the lack of expressing your emotion was known as a good behavior. So your parents will be like, "You're actually a good child." Why a good child? Because Lerato cannot say anything. If they say we're canceling your trip, Leratos be like, "Okay, Dad, okay." And Lerato is actually sad. Lerato wants to cry, but crying, it will be like, "I bought you food, I bought you anything, you're crying now. I can't afford this." You understand? So, in that moment, when I be, it's either they gonna say a harsh thing that's gonna hurt more than you receiving your pain, and then you fail to be vulnerable, and then the communication becomes a problem.
They'll tell you that you're not grateful or you don't appreciate.
Yes.
For instance, can I give an example?
Yeah.
Growing up, so I've always been the yes kid, because saying no or saying I don't like something would come across as maybe not being being ungrateful, or maybe coming up as being picky. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being picky, right? Preference.
Yeah, depends. When you visit someone and they only have tea and it doesn't have milk, there's a need of understanding there. But then sometimes it crosses the line, because sometimes there are actually choices that you can make, but you're not allowed to make them. I think I get what you're saying though.
Yeah. So growing up, as I was, still saying, if my mom bought me something and I didn't like it, even if I know I don't like it, I couldn't voice it out. I'd just like, yes. Where else, my sisters are very vocal. If they don't like something, they tell it that, "Mom, this thing is so ugly, I'm not gonna wear it," or whatever. But what I'm just trying to say is that, for me, being a good kid meant that suppressing how I feel about something. If I don't like a t-shirt,
Yes.
And that does not mean that you are ungrateful. Obviously, there are ways in how you can say it in a more respectful manner, or still in a way that shows that you are grateful. It's just that, "Mom, this is not my taste.
Yes.
Thank you for the shirt. I really appreciate it. However, like, next time you want to buy me a t-shirt, these are not my type of styles. Like, I prefer maybe crop tops, because that's just who I am, And yeah, now when it comes to a relationship, you carry that behavior with you, because you're scared that your partner is gonna say that you're not grateful,
Yes.
And when you suppress what you actually want, it ends up coming out one way or the other. For instance, if I know that I don't like flowers, and my husband keeps on buying Lerato flowers. You know, there'll be a time where I'm like, you could have bought me chocolates, not flowers. That's my love language, and that's something I want. So there's nothing wrong with you obviously saying, hey babe, I appreciate the flowers that you buy me. However, I don't like flowers. You know, reason why, sometimes you don't even have to state your reasons. You can just tell him that, you know, I'm not a flower girl, it's not in me. I appreciate it, I see your work. However, I prefer chocolates. Those dark chocolates you bring me home. If you think of buying me flowers, get me those chocolates. You know, that's you communicating, and now your partner understands what you like and what you don't like. Instead of now, one day he comes back home, he's so excited that, you know, I bought these roses, and utola ukuthi maybe there was not those roses, that maybe the shops are even closing. Maybe your husband or your partner is from work, and now they decide, oh, let me buy my babe something. By the time they get to the door at Woolies, maybe they're about to close, you know, and he begs like, no guys, please, like, please, I need, and you know, they allow him in. Now he buys you those flowers. When he comes back home, he's so happy that, yo, I bought my babe something. And now when I receive them, and you find that it's been happening frequently where you buying me flowers and I'm not telling you that flowers are not for me.
Probably being allergic to that thing.
You know? Yeah. So now when he comes home, because in my heart, I want chocolates and he doesn't know. Now I'm gonna be like, he buys me the flowers, thank you. Then later it's gonna come with, he should have just bought me chocolates.
Yeah, like, you're waiting for the time. That's what we're talking about here. It's very interesting. Continue.
So now when he comes back home, and now he's late maybe, you know, and he's late because he went out his way to get you those flowers. Like he made like a huge effort, like he's from work, from a meeting, now he's trying to surprise you, and now, you came back late, you told me that you're gonna come back home at 5, and look at the time now. Oh babe, yeah, flowers, this is the reason, but I don't like flowers. Hi bo. Now he's shocked, like, I've been buying you flowers
for months, 6 months, whatever. Yeah.
Well, that's your love language. I like chocolates.
Like, guys,
firstly,
I don't know.
Attitude in how I'm responding. It's attitude. Secondly, he doesn't know that I don't like flowers. You know, he thinks that, no, Joy is enjoying these flowers because I've been buying them frequently. Now I'm angry because maybe he didn't come on time, and now that anger is not just about the time. Now the anger is really about the flowers.
Actually, this is just devastating because you're waiting for a wrong time to talk about something that you should have discussed in a different time to address it. Now it sounds like an insult. Someone's energy, whole 6 months energy, buying you flowers, thinking they are communicating love to you. It might be something they've learned from their experience. It might be something they learned from the movie. It might be something they've learned from the love song. And they think that buy the rose for this lady. It's a thing that you should do. And the guy obviously is showing his effort. And the time now you're saying it sounds like an insult. In you think you're actually expressing how you're feeling. And you are sure mentally. You see where now self-awareness comes in. At that moment, obviously, when people are angry, they are not self-aware. Self-awareness decreases when you're angry. You know why? Let my wife explain.
So when you're angry, this is the brain. You are behaving from this part. This is where your emotional, state of being is. This is rationality. So when you're angry, the only thing that's in your brain that's operating at the time is this part, the emotional part of it. This goes away. Logic goes away that this man, he went to Woolworths to buy me flowers. He's late because he made an effort to come home with something for me. But now it's boiling down to emotional because I didn't voice it out. And he's not supposed to just calculate it in his head that Joy likes flowers because maybe he's seen it in movies that all women like flowers. Unfortunately, not all women like flowers. Other people don't like them, and it's okay.
Yes, here's an interesting part. Like, is in relationship when you're fighting, at that time when you're fighting, I don't expect any human to be perfect at that time. At that time, I can't even tell you about self-awareness. It just won't make sense to you. But the most important thing is like after fighting, what happens then after fighting? Because then after fighting, you have to go back and look. That's the time for accountability. That's like the growing up part of it. That's you looking at why did I react that way? And that helps you understand why did you. Don't try to solve it. Like try to understand your behavior. It's more about understanding where your behavior comes from. And that helps you it's a most important step like towards self-awareness, because now you are not gonna hold that behavior as a belief that I can write the flowers, and you're still continuing the following day and the other day and the other day, and instead of dealing with that problem or that emotion, you would then shove it under the mat, and then you continue. It's still bad, right? So in the next fight, that will come back again, like times two, plus the fact that a guy left his shoes somewhere where you don't like. Now the shoes and the flowers and then everything together. How about you understanding yourself like, okay, I've expressed myself like this. Why did I express myself like this? There are two scenarios where you can actually use something else to combat something else. Because you might be angry that someone came back late, like my wife saying is in that scenario, and then you use flowers because you saw that whatever you were angry about was not something that you should have been angry about. But because now you are embarrassed that you're wrong, now you want to use the flower thing that you're bottling up all the time to lay a message about how you feel. When you go into self-awareness, it's better you better understand where that comes from. And once you understand where that comes from, you know now what you were fighting about. Apart from you, even the embarrassing truth that you were embarrassed and then you were covering up. Because there are many people in relationships, actually in conflicts, where now they are embarrassed about, yo, I'm wrong. I'm now heard it in different places where someone will accuse you of stealing something. When they find it, they just... Now they don't talk to you anymore. Now they don't want to talk to you. Now they ignore. I think it's in human nature that we fear embarrassment. It's okay to be embarrassed. Embarrassment it comes from perfectionism, which is again another problem in relationship, because it means you can't receive criticism. Because your definition of your worth is you being correct all the time, or maybe 80% of the time. Person finds you wrong, oh my God, like it means I'm a terrible person. Why? It's because it's painful for you to receive that emotion. So you'd rather conceal it with all the things that you didn't communicate before. But the more you start noticing the patterns of your miscommunication, even if you don't go back, tell your partner that, or tell your lover or your husband that, hey, I think I understand where my emotion comes from. But it helps you understand better. Even if you can sit in the bathroom alone, you are able to be like, yes, like, actually, I was wrong, you know? I should do it better next time. So when you do something next time, when that thought kicks in, you're aware to look at it in the eyes like, no, please don't interfere in my communication now. So that's why that self-awareness and communication, they work, but in time. It's not a quick thing. It's you noticing why every time you're talking to your husband, you're using this type of finger.
Oh, now I'm gonna tell you. You enjoy it. Yeah, like, you know, we come with that energy and men don't like that energy. You know, where else you can state it properly that, babe, you know, you've been buying me flowers, and just to tell you that I don't like flowers. Unfortunately, I'm not a flower girl. You know, instead you could maybe buy me chocolates, dark chocolates, or you can, you know, tell him your other favorite dessert. So if he feels like that day he wants to like give you a little spoil, he'll know obviously that, okay, flowers are a no. Let me respect it. Let me buy her the chocolates that she likes, because remember, that's my love language, not his love language.
Correct.
You know? So the energy in which you use matters a lot. Because you can really come calm, but also what you say also matters. That, yeah, when the only thing you buy me is flowers, now I don't like flowers. now you're sounding like you're really ungrateful.
Yes.
You're sounding like whatever he's doing, you don't see the effort. Where else you can tell him in a nice and polite way, and your energy also should be down.
Yes.
Don't come with pumasilwe. No, ladies, like, let's just learn to control ourselves. I know that often we are so used to because as women we like that energy, we like that, the drama.
Yeah,
Women,
I feel like
it's not good.
it's not a matter of liking. It's a matter of coming defensive. You don't want to be wrong. Being wrong in the past has been so painful, or being vulnerable has been so painful that maybe you were recognized as a fool before for being vulnerable. So you'd rather come aggressive as compared to vulnerable. So to substitute sadness with anger feels better, because at least even if I'm wrong, and it'll haunt you, that feeling, because truth is magical. It will haunt you that you're wrong, but you'll still be defensive. But if you're not self-aware that I'm actually acting like this, then you're stuck with this behavior forever, because you think you're right and you're lying to yourself again and again. But your consciousness tells you that, girl, you're not right. What you're doing is not right. But then you know what we do? We start seeking friends who's going to validate the misbehavior, because normally we normally as human beings make people who are wounded like us friends, right? Like you collect a bunch of people who are crying about the same thing, who instead of complaining about tax or complaining about relationships and whatever, and you go there, you tell them only the side of your story to be validated. You understand?
That you had every right to behave or act in that way. You did well, instead of your friends holding you accountable. That, friend, we don't do such.
Obviously.
What do you mean that you were screaming at him or we don't call each other, to order that, no, my friend, next time, or try and find out where did it start. We are so quick into, Chomi, you did a good thing, Chomi, like, that energy. Then it doesn't help you, because now when you come back, the more you have that energy of fighting, because your friends told you, they gave you validation that whatever you did was right.
Yeah.
Where else, healthy and mature friends are going to tell you that, friend, you took it out of line. Like, you could have, addressed it properly. Yes, Ubi came back home late. He bought you flowers that you don't like. But was it necessary for you to take out all that energy of fighting? You could have just told him that, babe, you're late. I don't like that you're late. You promised me that you'll be home at 5. Another thing is, thank you for the flowers. I don't want to sound like I don't appreciate the flowers. However, flowers are not my thing. I know that I haven't been speaking about it, but today I just feel the need to tell you. Even when he receives it, he's not going to receive it as a bad vibe, like, this girl, what does she mean? Like, I took my time, I'm trying to, put a smile on her face. He's going to take it as, oh, Lerato, oh, okay, she doesn't like flowers. Oh, I came back home late. Oh, babe, I'm sorry. Then he will explain properly why he came back home late.
Correct.
Mara, if your energy is high and you want him to explain why he came, chances are he might not even, he'll tell you that you're not grateful. I did this for you. It's an effort. Now at that time, then now other things that are necessary start coming out.
Yes.
Because now it's no longer just about the flowers. Now maybe you've been hiding things for long. That, Ibile, you don't even take me out.
Yes.
And maybe the poor guy has been so busy, or, other things have been happening where sometimes he forgets that, oh, Kana, we must do these date stuff. Because, guys, I think when we come into relationships, we think that it's automatic for people to know how to treat us.
Yeah.
Where else we teach people how to teach us. We have different preferences. I know for my birthday, I always want gifts. I want to be celebrated. My husband is very simple. Like,
not the whole husband. I think all husbands are simple.
Yeah, like, it's not such a big deal. Yes,
we're very simple human beings. We just need a sandwich and watch TV or whatever. We don't want some big stuff.
Yes,
and respect, of course.
Yes, and sex.
Obviously.
They are very simple. But with me, babe, I saw this dress called Zara, and I want balloons, and you must take me out for dinner and you know. So it's not automatic that your babe will know what to get you or what you like, because maybe you see joy getting those things and you assume that when you talk about it to your husband is gonna catch on. Men don't work like us women. So when you come into these relationships, don't just expect everything to happen like naturally. You know, other men, yes, they can think for you. There are other men who need to be taught that, okay.
It depends on how people are raised. Where I come from, we never celebrated our birthdays at all, and I didn't even cry about it. I didn't even sabawell it from anybody. And when it comes to my relationship, I thought like I didn't take it too busy. I mean, like to be busy that day or to be hectic that I have to do this. I took it as a simple day. She took offense, you know, because she came from that environment where, well, birthdays are celebrated. And those got to me now, I don't even know if it's like I'm hurting someone else. I'm thinking, all right, chocolate, hey, let's go McDonald's, you know? And to her, it's supposed to be big. It's supposed to be like that. Up until I had to look in myself and put myself in her shoes and try to understand in her perspective and try to understand like why, you know, should feel like that and learn to respect that. Oh, this is how it happens. And to even look down in myself as well over some time, be like, why am I numb about these birthday things? I'm like, oh damn, actually, maybe it's my programming, the way they raised me. They never took a special day to celebrate me. So I thought there was a norm about it, but over some time I've learned that, oh, this is actually something interesting, something we should do. So that takes me understanding her, but she had to, I mean, after her being, I mean, angry from that space, she had to come to me, explain how she felt like I wasn't doing anything in a respectful manner. But if you come to me like, you're not doing anything, why not? You're a useless man. Look at my friend Mpo. I'm like, okay, so why don't you get married to Mpo's husband and get a koloi? And at that time, it's not even how you have to communicate that time. Because now the person is trying to express their emotion, but in a way that now they're blaming. Because they're assuming you should know. We always assume my partner should know how to kiss me. You don't communicate. Hey, Muna, like, hey. So, I'm not saying say it like that, obviously, that would be rude. but like, speak with the person, baby. I don't like the kissing and hey, they feel gross, you know, or they make me uncomfortable.
Yes.
Can we try something else? You know, relationship is about creating your own thing, not what you've learned from Karabo, from generations, or from the movies, or some of you, or some people from pornography. You know, you're taking all that to your relationship, and you think, oh, person is gonna enjoy this, and all girls assuming, oh my god, he will give me orgasm. You know, like you don't even know how to get yourself orgasm at all. You're putting someone has to be a magician. He's a perfect guy. He comes from some other planet. He knows how to press my buttons, how to kiss me, how to take me out. My love language.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. If he doesn't know, now you're sitting angry there. He doesn't understand me.
Or you want to move. You find that it's a genuine guy, and now you want to move away from the relationship because you're not willing to face the uncomfortable conversations.
Yes.
You're so quick into, friend, now he doesn't do what the things your husband does for me. What? Like, what do you mean? It took us building to have what we have today, and we are still building. You know, we are still discovering new things, you know,
Yes.
day by day. So I like what you're saying, that we think that everything just happens. Where else, even in the bedroom, you know, when I'm like not happy that I'm not coming, or you know, it's too short, instead of me communicating, I'll go vent there by my friends. Like, oh, Chomi, how's your sex life? You're high,
You see,
you're high. Like, I don't even, what?
already now they're not going to respect your man. You understand? Now they're going to look like, oh, 2-minute guy, you know, or guy who spits on the woman when kisses, or whatever. And then you're telling your friends when you're angry those things, like, and you can't even communicate and ask for those things from your relationship. Why? Because they're uncomfortable, and because you don't. The most important thing is we don't want to be vulnerable.
Yes, true.
If you don't want to be vulnerable, you want to act as a tough guy. And when you act as a tough guy, you sound aggressive. Someone might be defensive because of how you're approaching them. So you need to be very careful with those things.
Yeah, and I think also when it comes to, like, you know, when you suppress your emotions, you end up resenting your partner.
Obviously.
You know? If now I have issues in my bedroom and I don't address them how I feel, I'm just gonna always act like I'm sick or I'm tired or my tummy hurts, because I don't want to tell my husband that, you know, we're having sex but I'm not enjoying it.
So you're para stove.
Yes, we talk about full bloomers, you know.
Yeah,
and then now he's also gonna feel like a bad vibe that, yo, this woman, every time I try to touch her, like, it's not happening. Like, what is wrong? Now, yeah, and he starts now judging himself, feeling like maybe, and then maybe at that time he's right, that maybe I can move fish up, but he doesn't know how to approach you because you're not also talking.
Yeah.
You know, and now, Linda, I'm angry. Yeah, the only person who's happy is him. Mina, like, yo, guys, you know. So now it creates problems in the relationships. And when you suppress also in the other departments.
Yeah.
You know, then it affects the entire relationship. Now when you guys have to solve one issue, yo, now during mid, why did you buy this cake? Yeah, Kuri, you just don't listen to me, or you don't want to understand me, because even in bed you don't make me happy. Hey, Bo, where is it coming from?
Imagine, just in the middle of talking about a cake or banana now, like, or whatever. It's insane, you know.
Eventually it comes out. You can hide it, but eventually it's gonna show up somewhere.
Obviously,
you're gonna get triggered now to a point where now you can't put out
spilling beans. Yeah.
Yes, now you're gonna take out everything that's within, and now your partner is shocked that this girl, I try my best, she didn't talk to me about bed. You know, there's just going to be a whole lot of things going on.
Guys, if you want to see something that will destroy your relationship, miscommunication, lack of communication. Even your career at work, it'll destroy it. You don't communicate your needs, what you need from work, even if it's salary increase. I mean, I think this communication thing is not only about relationships. It's more about intercommunication with yourself, the communication with your parents. You know, sometimes, someday you need to start facing your parents and say, Mom, I don't think I like this. Mom, please stop coming to my room when I'm dressing up or when I'm naked. Please respect me when I'm... You need to start talking, and understand that sometimes this talking thing, you don't have to be aggressive about it.
Start fighting.
You sometimes you need to be vulnerable. If it's sad, don't turn it to anger. So that you intimidate the other person, thinking that you're gonna lay your message down. Sometimes just be honest with your feeling. Hey, this is making me sad. I don't like it. That won't kill you. Instead of coming like, you know, just say, hey, you know, baby, the fact that you're always out on weekends, we spend time together, it makes me feel lonely and sad. Versus, hey, when you're a guy of weekends all the time, you're so irresponsible. It seems like you don't even love me. Because what's wrong with communicating your real emotion, not the facade, not the bullshit, the bullshit that you're trying to create underneath. You understand? So let's communicate better, guys. Myself, I'm still learning communication in this relationship. Like, believe me, not a master of the communication. Why? Because communication has underlying factors, trauma, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, and makes it very difficult sometimes to communicate what you want because you might feel rejected. I've heard that other people who can't even communicate what they need in the bedroom or in the house. Why? Because my husband's gonna think I'm a freak. You know, with that fear of being rejected for who you are or being judged makes the communication problematic. And the more the relationship is problematically affected, I mean, the communication is bad, then I can tell you your relationship is in shambles.
It even affects friendships, because if you know that you are the type that you are big, like what we said on birthdays.
Yeah.
And I have a friend, maybe I just made a friend and she says nothing because what are birthdays?
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm gonna be so quick into saying, yeah, she's self-centered, yeah, she's, or she doesn't like me, she didn't say happy birthday to me, but your friend doesn't know you. Like, you just met and you just told a friend it's my birthday, and to her, happy birthday alone is enough. Where else she doesn't know that, oh, Miguel wants, let me courier flowers to her place,
Yeah.
let me send her a voucher just to, meet her at her need of it's her birthday.
Yeah.
So now when your friends don't perform according to, that your heart's desires or what you want, you cut them off.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't communicate and you feel like I'm the one. You think that your friends' love language and yours are the same, and they are not. You find that maybe I'm the friend that will visit you, come with cooked meals,
Yeah.
and the other friend just comes to my house like very chill, like I'm just going to joy. And for me at that time, maybe it bothers me because what do you mean? But every time I come to your house, I come with something. When you come to my house, you don't bring anything. So now I get really angry because I'm like, this person, I think for them, I go all out for them. But when they come to me, it's nothing. And now I'm like, you know what? I can't do this. I'm cutting her off. She's toxic.
Yeah, that's very problematic because you are an avoider, a chronic avoider. You're avoiding difficult conversations. You're probably even avoiding success in your life because whatever behavior in a certain department in your life reflects in other departments in your life. You're going to avoid addressing issues like that. You will avoid communicating what you need, and you're going to die inside not getting what you want. Like those, I don't know, you watch that movie of that grandmother who almost died, like 85, she never orgasmed in her life.
She's been married.
Yeah, because you're busy bottling things up inside of you, all that is going to damage you. But once you start being self-aware, like, I'm actually an avoider. I'm avoiding, I've been avoiding to tell my mom this. I've been avoiding to tell my husband this. Don't be afraid to look inside of you and try to understand why. It's like, oh my God, I'm actually scared that he might come aggressive at me. And if you feel like he's not a person who can talk to you about that, get therapy. Yeah.
The person doesn't believe in therapy, your partner. Do you go to therapy? Are you saying I'm going to
No,
therapy?
take yourself to therapy. I mean, I don't like this thing of dragging people to therapy. It's a very weird phenomenon. I don't know if there's a saying that you understand in English, clean your house first. You understand? Stop like pointing fingers at someone else to clean whatever their house. Clean your house first. We all have issues.
Sure.
If you're afraid to go to your partner and be vulnerable, if your relationship doesn't allow you to be vulnerable about your issues, it's going to affect your communication.
Yes, true.
When it affects your communication, it's going to affect your enjoyment. It's going to affect your points, making a point, feeling heard in the relationship. You're just gonna be that guy, that lady, or that man.
You're scared.
You're scared. You can't say anything, but we know that inside of you, you're actually dying and you are angry. And one time we'll meet you, Tina. Like, how's marriage? She's like, sharp. It's good. But inside of you, you're like, shit. I'm looking for a way out. Where can I get a gate to leave this relationship without losing half of my property? You're stuck there in the dilemma. Kanti, the reason is psychological. You have fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of maybe you don't even know how to handle your emotions, because if they suppressed your emotions while you were young, as a definition of a good kid is the one who cannot express their emotion, and then it means you're still 6-year-old child.
You're gonna throw tantrums during fights.
Yes.
You are going to throw tantrums. You won't know how to handle yourself because you were not exposed to conflict resolution.
Yes, you stop. Everything in your body have been growing up ever since you were born, including your sight, your mind, your hearing. If your emotions were shut down, you're still a baby in that department. And as like a baby, you're gonna throw tantrums, and you might be dangerous. So that's why you see it amongst a lot of men, because we are taught to suppress our emotions mostly. And color in front of other guys is like, oh, embarrassing. Oh my God, he's crying. And or even telling another guy that, hey, something's make you shut that emotion down. You find that most men are emotional babies. That's why you see them on robots insulting each other, coming up with a weapon. The next thing, they need to fight. Instead of disagreeing, you step on a person at the tavern, there must be a war. That's where the toxic masculinity thing comes from. Where the other things these things are not necessary things that we have to fight about. But because we're emotional babies, we lack the ability to deal with emotional situations. So how many things we are missing? How many things we can't voice out? How many tough conversations that we cannot have? And because communication is the most important thing in a relationship, if you have such issues, it's going to be very, very very tough journey for you. Or sometimes, if your self-awareness is something that's thrown out, and you think, this is how I speak. I'm a daughter here. I speak like this. When I raise a voice to a woman like this,
my word is my word.
Yes, yeah, you understand. Even my behavior, like I'm like this, you keep up with that energy. That's a problem that you're not willing to face. And as a leader, it's about accountability. You need to be accountable of your actions and your behavior. But if you're not humble, then you think you're always right. When you think you're always right, then you keep on ruining things, and then you won't enter the heaven, because that's why it's easier for for babies to enter heaven, because of allowing the fact that they don't know and letting themselves to learn. You don't have a space for learning. You're marrying someone, you're gonna have to unlearn. You're gonna have to leave all the packages in the past. You're gonna have to be vulnerable and exposed. Yeah? Which you don't know something.
Or you have a problem.
Or sometimes you can't even please your partner. You need to accept that, oh my God, actually I can't do this. And learn.
Oh, I have a problem. Yes, babe, I need help.
Yes, or I'm thirsty.
Yes.
Or I can't cook.
Yes.
Hey, baby, I can't, like how, in your sort of application. Every time I have to be, and we can't even talk about it, because you're gonna be, you won't be vulnerable at that time, but I don't know. You choose anger to conceal because of your past rejections.
Yeah,
You're gonna choose anger instead of your real emotion, which is sadness, to conceal. Say, one judge, it means I'm not the wife enough for you.
Yeah.
And then the man now is scared to voice out what they like, what they want. Now yourself, the man is a lion. Hey, I'm a man here. Don't tell me about, hey baby, you're gaining weight. You don't tell a man he's gaining weight, and all of that. And then everyone, a woman feels unheard. Mostly when a woman feels like, oh my God, I can't be vulnerable. And when a woman can't be vulnerable, she'll become aggressive. When it comes aggressive, she's disrespectful. And then you have this relationship that always have conflicts that don't end.
Yeah, that's so true. So the most important thing is learning how to communicate,
Yes.
especially with yourself. I think my therapist always tells me that I need to practice things that I do for my people around me with myself first. So if today I'm feeling like I don't want anyone near me, like I need to be honest that, guys,
Communicate it. Yeah.
I love you guys all, but I need space for myself. Like I need
Yeah.
to reconnect, and it doesn't mean I'm beefing with them.
Yeah.
It just means that I'm in my feels, like I want to reconnect with myself, and there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah, maybe you're reading a book. You know those friends who are just passing by. You're passing by, and you're like, let me go to Joy's place. And then when you come in here, you know what, friend, I'm busy. I'm just having a me time. That's not
Rude.
suppressing your emotions just to please your friend. That's the most dangerous thing ever. Because now you're gonna be like, hey, let me go to a restaurant with her and whatever. But you're not feeling that. You understand? And guys, let's learn to respect people's boundaries. When a person says no, they don't hate you.
Yeah.
It's a no.
Yeah.
You understand? It's like those guys who, those guys who shell us in the streets. When a girl says no, then they start throwing rocks at the girl.
Or they tell you, you know, movie.
Or something like that. You are embarrassed. Learn to receive embarrassment feeling. I know a lot of people don't wanna, and especially in conversation, you might be wrong and embarrassed. It's about how you receive that embarrassment and how you allow that feeling without you changing it to anger to conceal it, so that you don't wanna look like a fool.
And it's okay not to know.
Yeah.
It's really not okay. You know what? I like what you said, that if you know that you can't cook, it's baby now easy with the pots, mutwaka, yo, shem, mara, I'm willing to learn, you know. Even your babe will support you. Like some people will even pay lessons for you to learn how to cook.
Yep.
They'll even buy you recipe books and introduce you to stuff. Mara, now if you're cooking and he tries to correct you, or babe, now you become emotional about it. You're gonna make things hard.
Yes.
You know, because now it doesn't mean that he doesn't appreciate that you're cooking. It just means that so like he's not enjoying the food, and it's really okay for him to voice out that the type of food you're making, or maybe he tells you that the food that you're making is too oily.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's nothing like him undermining your role.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just him voicing out that, babe, these days when you cook, you are putting in a lot of salt and a lot of oil. I'm a bit scared.
Yes, guys. So, what we did with my wife, we've decided to create a day in a month where we will talk about uncomfortable things. As we speak right now, I'm pretty sure there are needs that we want to communicate, but one person is hiding it. So what we're doing is set up a day. The day we call it No Judgment Day. No one judges the other person for speaking what they want and what hurt them that month and what didn't go right and what didn't go well. You understand? And what went right as well. You understand? So that will help. Start having that, like in a relationship. It's either you're married or your relationship is starting to go to that direction. Especially, I'm not talking about one night stand people. That one, even if it gets a bit toxic, don't care about it. The most important is the relationship with intention. Those ones, please, make a day, talk about it with your better half. Hey, can we set up a specific day together where we talk about something uncomfortable? From kitchen to kids, if you have kids,
Bedroom.
to work, to whatever, bedroom, and to you not washing my socks correctly, everything, you understand? Let's talk about all those. And talking about your mom, who was here last week and shouting at me. You understand? Talking about those uncomfortable things that people don't want to face. And that is going to help you understand sometimes, because only therapy is exposing such communications at the moment. And some people don't afford. Hey, everything is getting expensive. We can't push everyone to therapy or to relationship therapy. So learn, even if you go to therapy, there's always something about the communication that's missing for each and every month. Make that day, talk about those things.
Yes. Otherwise, we are done.
I don't know. You have anything more to say? But I don't have anything more to say. Let's conclude, guys. Self-awareness, the ability to look at yourself without defending yourself, your narrative, looking at your behavior, trying to understand where it comes from in a humble manner, and sometimes looking at yourself through someone's shoes and how you behave, and without feeling bad, but understanding where your behavior comes from.
And how your behavior harms other people around you.
Yes, and understanding the whole feeling and why you behave a certain manner, and that sometimes can date you back to your childhood, and to where maybe, because if you practice self-awareness and maybe you choked when you were reading a book in public, you can, when you look deep on why you choked, you can even see that, oh, I was laughed at when I was doing spelling in my childhood, and that understanding itself helps you get peace of mind on why you behave a certain manner, and helps you understand your behavior instead of thinking it's your character, and learning to rewire it and to unlearn it. And that's the first introduction to therapy.
Yeah, I agree.
And then communication
Healthy communication.
plays a role, because without self-awareness, you would think that, hey, I communicate this way, until you know you were programmed either by your trauma or by ego, because you have a low self-esteem, you rather appear a certain manner, and you won't be able to deal with conflicts. So guys, this was about communication, conflicts, and self-awareness, and I hope you guys learned a lot from this. If you didn't, or you have questions, you're welcome to put your questions in your comments. Next time we're going to create an email for people to tell us their relationship problems. Maybe we talk about those issues here. We won't name your name, of course.
Yes, true.
And then maybe someone is in the same situation with you, as you, and then English, and then we can discuss that and actually give you guys insights about how to and how best to approach a certain situation.
Yes, that's so true. Because often, some of our experiences help other people around us.
Correct.
So if you think maybe you're going through something that's complicated, could be that we've already passed through it, or maybe it's something we're currently navigating around, finding ways to deal with it. So don't be shy. Please comment like you are. So guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel. And in the next video, we'll be talking about culture and how it shapes some of our behaviors. But stay tuned and you'll learn more. Thank you.